Hey guys, pretty cool thing. My little theory, my play theory. I'm not something. This isn't something I believe in. It's a story I'm creating about the universe. Exercise that started by applying systems thinking and the systems, complex systems kind of mindset of synthesis to the universe, and just kind of seeing what I can come up with. And it's been fun, and it's coming to the point where I'm starting to think maybe there's something to it, and that is crazy even to me. But my theory allows for some predictions, and there's two I'd like to talk about now. One, actually, I found out is correct. My prediction based on my theory, or a prediction my theory would make, essentially, I found is true. Obviously, it's already been discovered to be true. It's not like something new that was just discovered. But it was new to me. I didn't know that it was true when I made the prediction, or what the answer to my, that my prediction wouldn't be true. So I guess you just have to take my word on that. My prediction was that if the function of the universe is to ultimately process energy in a way that renders it useless, then the expansion of the universe is a process that the universe is doing in order to further the dissipation of energy, because more space, more spaced out, you can have that energy essentially, and more quicker you can have it useless. The universe expansion accelerated about 10 billion years ago, and I made a prediction that the expansion of the universe and it accelerating had to do with the energy density of space. And I found that in a PBS Space-Time video that they didn't say that the acceleration of the universe 10 billion years ago was a result of that, but they did say, and I think this is the same thing, essentially, they did say that the reason for the expansion of the universe, the reason dark energy causes expansion, is it's based upon the density of space. And they mean matter density, but of course we know through Einstein that matter and energy is the same thing. And it's not even that matter becomes energy. Matter is energy, just in a different form, in a solid form. So that's correct. My prediction said that the expansion is based upon energy density, and in fact it's true. The expansion and the way dark energy works is based upon the energy density, or just density, because matter holds a lot more energy than, say, electromagnetic radiation traveling through space, for example. It doesn't hold a candle to the wind compared to the energy within a rock, or if you could turn that into pure energy. So that was one prediction that I was really excited to find out was actually true. The second prediction that I'm making right now, so and uploading, so that as evidence. Hopefully it hasn't been discovered or figured out yet, or mathematically figured, calculated. But my prediction is one that has to do with the 2D universe that and my theory says that our universe kind of came from, and where the energy itself is native to. Because that's something an essential part of the theory is that energy itself is native to a 2-dimensional flat universe, and part of the reason why it was able to be condensed in that singularity and before the Big Bang was because gravity was a much stronger reason why it essentially unzipped in a way and it kind of exploded out into the 3-dimensional sphere of space-time that was expanding, is because with that extra third dimension, which is also there because an extra dimension of space, more space for heat to dissipate into. Gravity dissipates as dimensions get higher, and so when that sphere of 3-dimensional space envelops that 2D kind of point of energy, it no longer had the gravitational force required to retain all that matter together into a point under all that, what I imagine would be pressure to want to expand. So without that gravity, kind of the outward pressure kind of took over, and then you had the Big Bang. So the 2D universe, let's look at our universe. So according to my theory, energy has wanted been wanting to, and has been trying to condense and become more stable and complex since the Big Bang occurred, since it became kind of energy. It has, since 10 to the minus 33 seconds, it was creating subatomic particles again, reorganizing itself. And through gravity, seems to be, combining and pulling itself together. And since the dawn of time, you can see energy and matter, essentially, energy being matter, matter being energy, essentially trying to put itself back together into a state that it kind of was at before the Big Bang occurred. I got a ambulance behind me. Hold on one second. Gonna get off here. So, the prediction. So if that's what energy is doing, then it doesn't make sense that, say, hydrogen, when it combines, it reaches a critical point and fusion ignites and it starts to dissipate energy as thermal heat incredibly quickly and incredibly efficiently out into space. Exactly what energy my theory claims energy doesn't want to do. So there's a conflict there. Why is energy combining itself, becoming more dense, just to what? Ignite and dissipate as heat? That doesn't make sense with my theory, so there has to be an explanation. Here's my explanation, here's my prediction. I predict that would not happen on a two-dimensional flat universe. Energy and matter can become much, much more dense and would not ignite or, say, like what a black hole does, shoot off Hawking radiation and the radiation that it spits out. Essentially, it kind of chews up matter and spits it out. It wouldn't do that, I predict. Maybe not so much the black hole. I don't know. I threw that in there just this very second. But my prediction is this: you only see stars and matter condensing and igniting as in this three-dimensional space-time. You wouldn't see that, I predict, on a two-dimensional flat plane or in a two-dimensional universe. I don't think that would happen. You would not have stars like you have it here. I think the fact that stars ignite and start to burn and just release as thermal energy the matter that they had collected, what energy was trying to do, that's a function of the universe. That's a characteristic property or law of the universe that basically is set up to make it impossible for energy to condense to do what it wants, which is to condense. So stars igniting is a function of the universe. It's not a function of energy and what matter is doing. It's to keep matter from recombining into what it was before the Big Bang occurred. And if you haven't watched my previous videos, I believe that the Big Bang didn't just happen and then create space-time, create our universe, which I just kind of call a sphere of expanding three-dimensional space and one-dimensional time, obviously. I think that the space itself expanded around the singularity first, which in turn caused it to kind of unzip itself and go through a phase transition into pure energy out of its condensed matter form with it. And so basically the expansion of space caused the Big Bang to occur. The Big Bang didn't cause space-time to pop into existence, because space-time, in my theory, is a function that is being performed on that singularity to dissipate it, to render it useless. And everything in this universe seems to be pointing from laws to structure, expansion, the three-dimensional space, time itself, entropy, seems to be one where it is seeking to, the sole purpose is to seek out, is to dissipate energy into the universe and render it useless. And that is heat death of the universe until there is nothing. I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence that energy and empty space is the only thing in this universe.